Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, Ireland's biggest legend, bringing you your Carabao Cup or your FA Cup preview. Sorry, my bad. FA Cup preview as Tottenham host League One side Morecambe, who are struggling and fighting for survival in League One. And today we are joined by Sean from the Spurs Talk Show, Brian from Tottenham on Tour, and then we will be joined by Philip. Here's the man.
Oh my God!
How you keeping?
Hi lads.
Not too bad. Shawnee, how are you, my man?
I'm good, Dave. I'm good, mate. It's bright and early Sunday morning. I think the earliest stream that you've ever done, the earliest stream I've ever been on. And it's nice to be in the room with royalty from around the Tottenham community. So,
that definitely is, my man. FA Cup weekend, I absolutely love it. I am buzzing. Brian, my man, how are you keeping on? The reason why we are all a small bit late is because we were getting a lowdown on Bob. So Bob, tell everybody, or Brian, tell everyone out there the lowdown on Bob.
Yes, I can give a slight update. Let me just make sure I word this right. So he's had a long conversation, or Kim had a long conversation with doctors yesterday, and they said to her, they spoke in depth. I'm not going to go in depth because there's some stuff I don't really want to be able to say. So all I can say is they said that yesterday was day one of his recovery, which is a positive step. They're looking to cautiously, and I do mean cautiously, wean him off the meds that he is on. Not only is he under a sedation, what they have done is they put him on a, I don't know how to say the correct word, paralytic drugs to keep him paralyzed so he doesn't move and turn and rip any wires or in his sleep. So they start to wean him off that and the sedation. It's going to be a slow process. It really is. So it's not, yes, he's on the way back, and his oxygen requirement is on the ventilator is slowly dropping. But as we've known, that can shoot up as easy as tomorrow. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. There are some signs that are good, and the way that the doctor was very definite in today or yesterday was day one of recovery, and it's the first time any doctor had mentioned something along those lines. So that is something to cling on to after a few weeks of up and down, and where we're going. It actually feels like we might be heading in the right direction now.
No, good. It's great to hear. It's great to hear. He's been in there too long now. Hopefully, he can get on the mend and get out of there and back with us. Hope so. So big up, Bob Spur. Mr. Brady, giving us the tour of the house. How are you, my man?
Yeah, I'm actually in my daughter's house in Dublin, so I've just been sent up to the attic.
No, look, does she have kids there?
Well, he's gone out, or else there'd be no peace and quiet, Yeah, he's gone out.
Absolutely love it. Well, guys, we'll welcome see what Irish Hotspur Army is in with us this early, and then we'll crack into it. We have
just to get my phone charger. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
No worries. The regular says morning all. Celery agent says morning chaps. Come on, you Spurs. Dark Stone Jesus, come on, you Spurs. Let's use the youths and win 5-0 today. We also have Derek Hutchinson. Good morning, gentlemen. Let's get back to winning ways. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Derek, my man. We have Steve Fraser in the house. Big up, Steve Fraser. Hope you're keeping well. We have Celery Agent as well. He says morning to all.
Top dude.
Steve Fraser, Celery Agent is. Steve Fraser says, YouTube shut my chat down yesterday. I freaked out, but it was only while they waited for me to confirm some details or something. That's not too bad, Stevie. So not too bad, my man. Who else have we got there? We've got Killian Kelly in the house. Says, big up David Harrison, the Irish Hotspur. How are you? I'm pumped up for the Spurs match. I'm absolutely buzzing, man. I like FA Cup weekend, and we should see some goals today, hopefully. That's why I'm absolutely buzzing. Who else have we got in the building? Mr. Brady was in the building earlier. I like to see that. Leon Kidd says, good morning, lads. Big up, Leon. I hope you're keeping well. DMT 85 is in the house. Morning, everyone. Big up. Just on the train to London with the kids. Let's hope they come back happy. It's their first game. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Shout out to DMT 85 and the kids. I really hope you have a good day down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And don't worry, DMT. They'll definitely be coming home happy, my man. Definitely coming home happy. Big shout out to you guys. Leon M96 Kai says, morning all. ready to get back to winning ways. Really hoping to see Marcandi get some game time too. Good point, Leon. Hopefully he will get a bit of a game time. Big up, Leon. We have Moondog says, morning, David. Big up, Moondog. Hope you're keeping well. Alfie Gosling, Tree. He's gone for Tottenham 3-0. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Come on, you Harris Army. Just make sure I'm not missing anyone. We have Rasta Country. Morning, all. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Rasta Country. We have Zoe in the building. Big up, boys. I hope to see Harvey White and Wonder Kid Dane today. So do I, Zoe. So do I. I really hope they get some minutes. Darrell Denton says 5 days before Mr. Daigle gets naked in a protest on Hotspur Way.
There is no nakedness. There is no nakedness. Believe me, that'll do more damage than good. There is no nakedness.
Big up, Darrell. Big up, Darrell. Big Boss Man says, Harris Army, stand up. Big up, Bob. Big up, Big Boss Man. I hope you're keeping well, my man. We have Faisal Khalifa. We need help on this squad. That we definitely do, my man. That we definitely do. Amir Sardar says, present thoughts with Bob Spur. Thanks for the update, Daigle. Big up, lads. Great coverage. 4-1 for Bob. Big up, Amir. Big up, my man. Mark Cousins is in the house. Morning, gents. Big up. Jason Groves. Big up, Jason.
The boy, the man. Miss you, Jason. I can't wait to be back in Canada and catching up.
I like this guy.
He's a diamond. I speak to him a lot. This guy, honestly, he comes on a lot of streams. He does a lot. This man is an absolute diamond. I'll do anything for Mr. Jason Groves. He is a top, and I do mean top boy.
Big up, Mr. Groves. Big up. No Show says, morning, boys. Morning, my man. I hope our team's not a no-show today. Sushan Bouchal says, hello, everyone. Big up, everyone. I think signings is not going to come. As always, smoke screen. But we just have to wait and see. My man. Chris Agenberg says, morning, all the positive news. But with Bob Spur, big yourself up, man. Spaghetti Slash says, good morning. Come on, you Spurs.
What a name.
Yeah, it is. Spaghetti
What a
Slash.
name.
I presume he likes a bit of bolognese, a bit of carbonara, the
He must
guy.
love Wanyama.
Toffee20 says, guys, and we have Mr. Socrates in the building. Big up, Brian. I hope you're keeping well. Big up all the Harris Army. Come on, you Spurs. Brian, send me in one of your fan cams after the game, my man. Send me in one. An ATX 7 game. It says, big up David, Sean, Phil, and Brian. Come on, you Spurs. Big up ATX. And ATX, you're another one. Send in another fan cam, my man. Dark Sun G21 with the super chat. Big up Dark Sun G, my man. Really appreciate support. Says the game is 11 p.m. in Korea. Let's win today and get our revenge on the Blues. We have to win 3-0 at home to avoid penalties. Let's keep our undefeated home form. I hope Session and Reggie will be fit for the Blues. 11 p.m. A nice late one for you, my man. You can sit back with a beer in hand and enjoy this one. No early hours for you, Dark Sun G. And look, we definitely want revenge on the Blues this week. We need it. We have to win. Look, it's going to be a tough ask. I mean, we didn't really give ourselves much to come away from the first leg with. Only that it only ended up 2-0, and we're kind of still in the tie. So we have to wait and see, my man. But look, we are undefeated at home. Let's see what we can do. Our Reggie will play, and I believe Session is back today, Dark Sun G, so I reckon he will be ready. But big up, Dark Sun G. Really appreciate support, brother. Ryan McFarlane says, morning, lads. Come on, you Spurs. Cuba 99, big up, lads. Let's have a few goals today and keep the vibes going. Could not agree more, my man. Could not agree more. Big up, Ryan McFarlane and Cuba 99. And Ryan, it's sad that Sonny is injured for a month. It's a huge loss. But look, we will get into that, Ryan. Ryan, but it is huge loss. And it couldn't have come at a worse time, to be honest, with the fixtures we have this month. But look, guys, make sure everybody smashes that like button. Make sure everyone smashes that subscribe button as well. And feel free to get your super chats in, guys. It's a great way to support the channel. It means you can skip the queue in the chat, and they always lead to great talking points too. But look, let's get into it. I'm just going to tell everybody quickly what they need to know. Of course, we are at home at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. There is going to be VAR in use. I don't know who the referee or the VAR are today. TV channels, you can watch the game. I believe it's on ESPN Plus in the USA. I actually think you might be able to get the game on Premier Sports in the UK and DAZN in Canada. Pre-match pump-up on We Are Tottenham TV starts at 12:30. If you guys want to follow me over there, where, we really ramp up the delusion final hour before kickoff. And I would like, I appreciate if everyone came back here for the watch along at 1:40, kicking off at 1:45 p.m., guys. And there would be no replays in both the third and fourth rounds games. They would go straight to extra time and penalties if it is a draw after full time and extra time. So there is no replays in this round, which is probably a bonus, to be honest. I mean, you don't really want any replays in the early rounds of the FA Cup, that's for sure. For Tottenham, we have been eliminated just once at this stage of the FA Cup in the last 15 campaigns, and that was versus Arsenal in the 13-14 season. Conte has reached the final of the FA Cup in his 2 campaigns for Chelsea, so hopefully he can lead Tottenham there. And Spurs have progressed past each of their last 20 FA Cup ties against sides from the 3rd tier or lower since losing 2-1 at Port Vale in January 1988. For Morecambe, their nickname is the Shrimps, so hopefully they turn into Shrimps today when we play them. They sit 19th of 24 in League One. This will be the first ever meeting between the two sides. Morecambe earned its first ever promotion to League One last season and are fighting to stay up. So they're not a good team. Well, not a good team, but I mean, we should be beating them with ease. Cole Stockton is Morecambe's top scorer, having netted 18 times in 27 games. And boss Stephen Robinson was supposed to be returning to the club, where he came through the ranks and represented the first team twice in the 1990s, but misses the trip due to COVID. So boss Stephen Robinson, ex-Spurs player. And this is only Morecambe's third ever FA Cup tie versus Premier League opposition. And they've already had to play 2 rounds already to get here. Injury news for Tottenham. For Morecambe, I'm not even going to bother, to be honest with you. I don't think we need to. But for Tottenham, of course, Harry Kane will be rested today. Son is up till after the next international break with a muscular problem. Bergwijn is out with his calf. And Romero is out. But Sessegnon returns and is available today. And late last night, Tottenham tweeted that Eric Dyer should be returning to action as well today. So look, we'll start with Sean and work our way around the panel. But Sean, what's your thoughts ahead of today's game, my man?
He's not here.
Oh, no, here he is. Here he is, sorry. Shawnee, my man, what's your thoughts ahead of today's game?
Look, it should be a walk in the park. Let's not beat around the bush. It should be absolutely zero hiccups. If there are any hiccups, anything akin to like the Mura nonsense, then there'll be all hell to pay. But it's a big opportunity for some of the youngsters to come in. It's a good opportunity to see Ryan Sessegnon, although I don't particularly want Ryan Sessegnon to be given 90 minutes today, if possible.
Yeah,
I'd like to give him a half, see how he goes, because the guy's so fragile, and he's such an important option to have on the left wing back spot. Reguilon can't do it all, and I want to break him back in gently, because it seems like he's only he can last 5 minutes before his body breaks again. Like to see Dylan Mulcandy. I'd like to maybe see Scarlett have a little bit of time with some senior players around him. Give him a chance to. It'd be awesome to see him get a goal. It'd be awesome to see him have a good performance. But I feel like it's been hard to judge him in the European games, because the players that have been around him have either not been of the highest quality or have been good enough but haven't seemed to give him two cares about the competition. So it's a good opportunity to kind of have to play around a little bit, bring in some youth. Bring in some injured players and give them some time. I'm still ultimately up for a 3-0 victory. It should be cruisy. If we have any issues today, then it's going to be devastating for the rest of the month. Today we need to go and send out and have just have positives all around. I don't want to see any negatives after the 90 minutes. It has to be just a clean sweep of all good things that happened today. That's my thoughts.
Spot on, Shawnee. Spot on, my man. Moondog with the super chat. I'm losing hope. What has happened to my club? No, look, always keep the hope, man. Always keep the hope. What has happened? Look, Sonny is injured. We do need players in the door. I suppose we just have to wait and see. But Moondog, your bet could be on today. Dyer will be returning. Whether he starts or not, I'm not sure. But maybe he could be. So put your fiver on Eric Dyer for first goal today. Potentially, definitely could happen today, Moondog. Big yourself up, brother. Big yourself up. Mr. Brady, what's your thoughts ahead of today's game, lads?
Yeah, this should be a walk in the park, really, but we've had the warnings this season already. Paco Ferreira and Moura.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't take teams like this for granted. You know, like I still remember that Port Vale defeat. That was the first FA Cup match after the loss to Coventry in the final in '87. And that was devastating at the time. You know, that was really bad. So while today should be relatively simple, we've got to put out a strong team. Give these guys the respect because it's their cup final. They will never play a bigger match than this, and they will be up for it.
Correct.
And so nothing less than 100% will do today. Now, I still think we'll win. How much you win by depends on the team Conte puts out. Yeah. And I'm hoping it's a strong one. When we're 3-0 up, then make the subs. We can make 5 substitutions today. So that'll be half the team rested for Wednesday. So let's go for it. Let Morecambe enjoy their day out, welcome to the ground, and kick the pants off them.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So Philip, if Philip lures you anywhere, he's ready to kick the shite out of you. Basically, is what he's saying. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it, Mr. Dagan, my man. What's your thoughts ahead of the game?
Well, first of all, I haven't had to say hello to this legend yet, so I just want to say hello to the person directly below me in Phil Brady, because I haven't spoken to him for a while. So, hello, sir. I hope you're good.
How are you, Brian?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. And yourself, mate. Always a pleasure. So, the thoughts to say, well, first of all, David, with your brilliant stat analysis and everything at the beginning, I completely forgot that Conte had been in 2 FA Cup tour or 2 FA Cup competitions and got to the final of both. So that's
he lost the first one to Arsenal in 2017 and won the next one against United, didn't he, the season after?
Yeah, that was during the wedding of Harry and Meghan, and I actually had bought my tickets when we got to the semi-final to come home for the final, just in case we were here, and we know how that one worked out. So I remember that cup. I remember that tournament very well. But yeah, also I didn't realise for Morecambe their team that in 19th they've got a goal scorer that's scoring that prolifically. In that league, was it 18 goals in 27 games?
18 goals in 27, yeah.
So like I said, as Phil said, and as Sean know, and as you all know, I love the FA Cup. I love it. It's still got all the magic for me that it did when I was growing up. I have a lot of nostalgia with the FA Cup. And everyone knows when it comes to the third round of the FA Cup, there are shocks. You just got to look at Newcastle yesterday. Not saying we're Newcastle, but these things happen.
Kidderminster knocked out Reading.
Yeah, and I think Burnley went out to Huddersfield. I mean, that's championship, and they do happen. They do happen. Yes, technically, this should be a walk in the park. I think it will be a convincing win. But as Phil said, you cannot take anything for granted with this team. I think it was Darryl Denton that said, listen, we've played under-strength teams in tournaments like the Europa Conference League this season, and that really hasn't worked out well for us. And we've got in underestimated the team and not given them the respect they deserve. Dyer being back, I think if Dyer is back, like we've heard, and he is coming back from COVID, which we haven't had confirmed, but I think they said a COVID outbreak, he was the one out. I don't want him playing as much as possible because obviously we need him fit for Chelsea, we need him fit for Arsenal. Yes, he needs match fitness, but we see with people like Son and everything coming back from COVID, their lungs and everything, you've got to be careful. So I don't know if you bring him on as a sub and then give him like the final 15 minutes, 20 minutes, so he gets a bit more in his legs. We'll see, but this should be a comfortable win. But let's just hope we do it.
I hope so. Look, we will. I think we should win this one easy enough. But look, I'll get onto it in a little while. But there is always, caution coming into these games for Tottenham Hotspur. Yep. But Brian, we'll stick with you because Conte, like I was saying, they won the FA Cup in 2018 with Chelsea in his second season. How much should Tottenham prioritise this competition? Do you think it could come down to like a round by round basis on who we draw, or do you think top 4 will be the priority? And do you think Tottenham should be prioritising top 4 over trophies?
Tottenham should prioritize. I'm going to say this very, very quickly because I don't want to get into this kind of heated. This isn't a day for him. Tottenham should be challenging for top 4 if reinforcements come in. If they come in, you look at it right now with Son out. If we don't replace him, then we do not have someone like him to come in, and we do not have the squad to pursue a top 4. It's a lot easier to get to an FA Cup final and put your energy into that than it is to get into the top 4. Also, for me, and I've said it all along, right now, I want a trophy. I want a silver trophy. I want it gleaming. And you got to remember, this is Tottenham Hotspur's Cup. We were the first team to ever win it 8 times. There's now a couple of teams tied with us on 8. Arsenal have absolutely eclipsed us and gone to 14. And the fact that what used to be our cup has now become their cup sickens me. Absolutely sickens me. And if you said to me now, as a fan, do I want top 4 or the FA Cup? FA Cup. Because I think the FA Cup, if we can get that trophy over the line and see the players say, do you know what, we can do this, it's then going to spark them on to have that winning mentality to go, yeah, we can do this. Look, we've won something. This is it. So for me, as much as the top 4 would be brilliant, if we don't strengthen the squad into it seriously, then I think the FA Cup is what we have to go for and get a trophy under our locker and finally get this hoodoo away from us.
I love it. Look, I want trophies too, Brian. I'm with you there, my man. Mr. Brady, we'll go to you. Do you think Tottenham should prioritise this, knowing that Conte has had two chances at the FA Cup, got to the final once and got to the final second time and won it? Or do you think we should be prioritising top 4 over trophies?
Well, I mean, okay, let's be realistic. It's highly unlikely we're going to overcome Chelsea on Wednesday. Hope we do, but let's be, doesn't look like we will. That means we're left in the FA Cup and the league. Now, 6 matches will win us the FA Cup, right? Barring replays. If we'd stayed in the Conference League, we'd have 10 more matches, right? So I think, in a way, the Conference League being gone is probably a blessing in disguise. I think, as Brian said, we need reinforcements to come in to bolster up the squad. I think we can prioritise both, to be honest with you. Because if we get a draw, we win today and we get Kidderminster at home in the next round. If we do a Chelsea and get easy draws the whole way, there's a possibility we can win the FA Cup without breaking sweat. Now, that's probably not going to happen. But I think we should be good enough to be looking at both competitions. As like Brian, I would love a trophy. It's far too long. It's ridiculous that a club like Spurs has won a trophy in, 13 years, 14 years?
14, I think it is now.
It's just not good enough, And I think Conte's experience in the FA Cup, he's been there twice. He's won it once. He'll fancy that. He'll fancy the FA Cup. So I think whatever team he puts out today will give us an indication of where the priorities lie. And I'm hoping it's a strong team. Okay, rest Harry Kane. We can't risk him getting injured with Son being out for the rest of the month. So rest Harry Kane. Bring in Dane Scarlett and Mbappe, and let him see what he can do. McCanday, give him a shot. But mix the team up. Put a few young lads in, but mix it up with the senior guys because we cannot. We go out today, and it'll put Newcastle off the back pages tomorrow.
No, 100%. 100%. I mean, look, we can't afford another cup upset. We can't. But Sean, Levy's son, what do you think your father wants to prioritise, the top 4 or the FA Cup, my man?
I think he definitely will prioritise the top 4 because there's more money in the top 4. As Tottenham fans, I think you'll find a fairly even split, right? I think there's a lot of fans that love trophies, a lot of fans that just want the idea of being in the Champions League. I've said it before and I'll say it again, though. When it comes to trophies, since in Daniel Levy's reign, and again, this is not anything to do with Daniel Levy, but in the last 21 years, there's been 63 trophies that can have been won by the 102 clubs that have been in the Football League in that time. Right, the Premiership, the FA Cup, and the League Cup. Of those, there's only 13 teams that have ever won anything once. 7 of them have won once, and we're one of those teams. Leicester City have won twice, and the other 5 have won the rest. 86% of all cups have been won by 5 teams. Keep making the same cliche. It's not silverware, it's silver rare. There's no entitlement to win a trophy. As much as I know that Tottenham are traditionally a trophy team and a cup team, it's more difficult than you think it is. I'd argue it's more difficult to win a cup than it is to finish top 4 because, the other 5 teams are already fighting, already going to be there or thereabouts. Of the names that have won, of the other 6 teams that have won once, you've got some real rare, weird names in there. You've got Wigan, Blackburn Rovers, Birmingham City, Middlesbrough, Portsmouth, and Swansea. And they've all won it once. And then what happened to there? They've done nothing since, right? So I would like us to win a trophy. I agree with Phil. I don't think we're going to get through the Carabao Cup. I think there's a chance. I think it would be if we start well and under the lights at Tottenham on a cold Wednesday night. If we get an early goal, the energy, the atmosphere, who knows what will happen? But it is unlikely. So the FA Cup is the only chance of doing it. But you know what's going to happen? Like it's all about the draw. But I don't think we'll. At some point at the semi-final stage or the quarter-final stage, you're going to get one of the big five teams. And it all depends on injuries. I think it's probably easier for us to finish top four this season than the FA Cup. Don't know if that answers your question. I personally would rather finish fifth and lift the FA Cup than finish fourth, personally.
Sure, can I say one thing? Whereas I agree with everything you have just said, there's one slight thing that I think you need to tweak. Because when you say there's 63 cups that could have been won by 105 teams, that's fundamentally wrong with the fact that only 20 teams can win the Premiership.
Okay, fine.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I completely agree with everything you just said, but it's a bit weird to say, Chesterfield were in for the Premier League. I mean, everything else like you say, FA Cups and all that, completely agree. Just when you're talking about the Premier League, you can't really say that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But everything else is bang on the money.
Oh, you got it, love it. It's starting already. He's
picking the peanuts out of the poo. There's a technicality there, Sean. You're wrong.
Yes.
Technicality. Yes.
And you see, look how calm I was saying, and you're celebrating. It's like it's a role reversal, mate. It's a role reversal.
When Sean was speaking, I seen steam coming up from behind you, Brian. I thought it was
no, steam did come up, and I realised that was a Tottenham Hotspur bloody chair that he sits on. And I was thinking, is there anything this poxy chairman won't stoop to put Tottenham Hotspur on?
No, there's absolutely not. I've got Tottenham Hotspur cornflakes downstairs.
But look, guys, we have a couple of super chats to get to, and then we'll get on to more questions. Dark Zone G21 says, "What's the reward for FA Cup and Carabao Cup?" Carabao Cup, I believe, is Europa Conference League, and FA Cup, I believe, should be. I think it will be Europa League.
Yeah, it is like Leicester. Leicester were in the Europa, so FA Cup is Europa.
Yeah, and Carabao Cup is the Conference League. Dark Zone G, my man, big yourself up, brother. Tim Man 007, what do we make of Conte's comment saying that he can't promise Spurs fans anything as he speaks the truth? Sounds worrying, to be honest. Look, I suppose Mr. Daigle will give that one to you.
Well, so what do we make of Conte's comments that saying that he can't? See, this is the thing. I'm trying to stay calm today. I'm trying to do this in a very calm. Listen, the thing that I actually asked Sean this. I'm gonna stay calm because Sean knows I asked him this last night in your WhatsApp chat.
Mary,
what I don't understand. I don't understand why I've got Phil. I love that. I love your forearm, mate. That's lovely. Let's not give up. What I don't understand is we have a chairman and we have an owner who's worth £5 billion. Now, obviously, he doesn't invest. We know he doesn't invest. But I find it highly strange and highly weird and highly kind of disgusting and absurd that a guy that won't invest any money has boarded a plane to ask someone else to invest. They'll take loans out against the club. They'll do this against the club. But then he won't inject any of his money in. He'll fly to the Bahamas to apparently smooch and all right, if I can't argue. So I want investments coming. The more, the better. In fact, if they have to buy the whole thing, fantastic, phenomenal. But why is this happening at the end of the first week of January? Shouldn't this have been happening? And I spoke to Sean. I asked Sean, I don't understand. I mean, even Sean said it doesn't look good for Levy that he's gone out to try and get money 1 week into a transfer window. And
that's why I feel like there's something more to it than just asking for transfer.
Exactly. It's highly irregular, but it's just very, very, very strange. Listen, we all know for a fact he has certainly not flown out there to get the okay on a 20 million purchase of Adama Traore. Daniel Levy has enough power to sanction that by himself. He does not need to go to the Bahamas. Listen, from what I've heard as well, one of the reasons, I don't know this is just speculation that I've heard filtering down, is that he's gone there because Conte said, back me or I walk. Like literally, and now obviously there's no substance behind that. There's no source. There's no nothing. But again, there's more petrol coming on the fire in this debate. Listen, we all know we need help. And I was going mad as people saw on We Are Tottenham TV on Friday. I was going absolutely. I didn't expect to go that crazy. I thought it was just going to be a couple of things back and forth, and then over. And it kind of became a 50-minute stint.
It was good. It was great. It was a great conversation.
So obviously, as I've said to Sean as well, I could talk perfectly calm with anything apart from we talk about that. Then Levy Tourette's and my anger comes rushing to the surface. Listen, one of the things I was saying is why are we waiting so long? We're going to get an injury. We're going to get, and look, the very day I said it, the thing comes out with Son. And now he's out for the North London derby. He's out for Chelsea. And whether he's been playing at his best or not, which he hasn't, and I use the term overplayed and undervalued all the time. But when I say undervalued, I don't mean his contract. I mean the fact that he's a human and he can't just play every single game. He needs to rest. And it just doesn't look good again. So this may have skewed who we go looking for, even though the injury's a short one. Can you imagine now if that happens to Kane, which has happened before, where Kane and Son, then it's a big problem. Listen, I don't think Conte walks in January at all. If he's not back, not at all. I think he sees this season out. But if he ain't back in the summer and early in the summer, we know what he's done at Inter. We know what he's done at Chelsea. If things aren't going the way he was promised, or he's been having to do things that he wasn't okay with, he will walk. And
let me ask you this, Brian. In a world where he does walk, what do you think is next for Tottenham? Outside of you and the boys from the Levy Out Brigade saying, I told you so, and then going down and knocking down doors at Tottenham, what do you think would happen to Tottenham? Who would be the next manager? What would be the consequences?
First of all, what I will say is I take no pleasure in saying I told you so. This isn't when I don't hope Tottenham do bad and Levy screws up. Just I'm going, Steve, told you. Look.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, I want what's best for Tottenham, and if that parasite changes and delivers, then so be it. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, or I don't think it's going to happen. If Conte walks,
then
all I can say, and you look at it, we would have gone from his ego trip of Mourinho, which he didn't back, and then sat before a final. Then you get probably the hottest manager in world football, or in the top three. With the top three managers in the world, I say, are in the Premier League. And obviously we know who the other two are. Mm-hmm. If he walks, winning trophies everywhere he goes, getting backed everywhere he goes, and Mourinho has won trophies everywhere he goes and is back, then he has dug his own grave, because you brought two managers that guarantee you success.
Yeah.
And put it this way, if Conte goes,
Tottenham would be known as the place where great managers go to die, right? If that happens.
And not just that, you look at it, you can't see, in all honesty, after Conte, if he walks, Klopp or Pepe joining us, so you're going down. Yeah. You have to go down in managers, and then listen, if this does happen, the whole bubble bursts, believe me. And that's it.
It can't happen. Yeah, and he must be aware of that. He must be aware of that. He must know that if the Conte experiment fails and it's because of lack of investment, it's because of broken promises, I will 100% join you right down on your side, mate. I'll get my tits out for the lads at the naked protest.
Mate, you just want to get naked, don't you? I think Darren got it wrong. It's you that's going to get naked, not me. It's you.
What I will say to people out there is people asking when this debate is happening. The 1st of February, it will be happening, people.
Yeah, I just need to put one caveat in that. Obviously, the only caveat in that is if anything happens with Bob and I need to go to that. That is the only caveat. And if everything is good with Bob, February the 1st, live on the Irish Hotspur will be the debate.
Should be fascinating. But big up Tin Man 007. It's good to see you, my man, and really appreciate the support, brother. Leon M96 Coys, I'm going to give this one to Philip. He says, as Kane's due to be rested today, who would you like to see play up front?
Yeah, just before I answer that, can I just add something to what Bob said there, or what Brian said there?
You couldn't name me a better name to Phil. If you're going to get my name wrong, that's what you call me.
Yeah. Listening to the soundings that have been coming out of Spurs in the last few weeks, if you can believe them, that there's only a limited amount of money that's available. And suddenly Levy's off to the Bahamas with his begging bowl out to Joe Lewis. I think there could be a lot in what you're saying, Brian. Because, if the agreement was made when Conte came in, why is Levy off to the Bahamas in the middle of the season, especially in January? This should have all been sorted before. Now it looks to me as if he's gone there looking for extra funds. And if that's the case, he needs to get them, because if he doesn't get them, well, I've been saying all along, Conte will do what he's done before. He will walk. And if that's the case, not even Sam Allardyce would touch us.
Yeah, and that's a major problem, Phil. I was on the Dave's channel a couple of nights ago, and this Forest Lee story emerged. I don't know if you saw the stream, but
I saw. Yeah, there's something about it. Yeah.
So I went and did a lot of like crunching numbers and looking into this guy and finding, because my brother's in Singapore and he's involved in certain circles, and he went and asked around, and apparently this guy Forest Lee, who was already good mates with Levy, who was seen at Tottenham being shown around and doing a tour. I won't go through the whole story, but essentially he's also in the Bahamas at the same time. And like, I agree with all of you. Like, it makes no sense. It's unforgivable that Daniel Levy sods off to the Bahamas for anything other than to get more funds. But I think that if it's just a conversation with Joe Lewis, that conversation should have already happened. And it could also happen over Zoom. So I feel like the only logical, and I'm massively speculating, and it's just a hypothesis, and I could be wrong, but all of the things that I was talking about on that stream with the owners of who else owns that guy's company. It's a Chinese company called Tencent Holdings, who already own the rights to the Premier League in China, but you can't have ownership of a football club if you also have the rights to the Premier League within certain thresholds. And lots of things have happened with their holding of that Forest Lee's company over the last week. So there's lots of like ducks that seem to be getting into the same row, and I might be getting, adding lots of twos together and getting the right number or the wrong number. But I feel like there's the only thing that would explain him leaving Tottenham in the middle of the transfer window is if he has to go and present with Joe Lewis to a possible third-party investor. So that's the only, because if it's anything other than that, it's ridiculous and it's shameful. Yeah. And I can't imagine Daniel Levy's a smart man. He might be he might not give a shit about us as fans, but he is an intelligent man. And I think the writing would be on the wall if Conte does leave under those circumstances that we've already spoken about. To your point, we wouldn't be able to get Steve Bruce. We'd become the Newcastle of the South. It would be a toxic place to be a manager. No one would want to come. And then I've seen someone in the comments saying Levy doesn't care. We'd still buy tickets. I feel like a lot of people would chuck their season ticket in the toilet if that happened, And so
the only thing I'd hope for, we're looking to get Forest Lee, and we're more likely to get Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And
he'll run away quickly.
But go back to the original question there. Who should be playing today as Harry Kane? I think Dane Scarlett has to get a whack. He hasn't had really any game time since the conference. So I think, who else have we got? I mean, there was talk of maybe playing Dele Alli as a false number 9.
Yeah, that's what we said in the predicted lineup.
Conte challenged him, didn't he? So
yeah, maybe we'll see. I mean, is there time enough though for Dele to get Morecambe's colours put into his hairstyle before the match starts?
He'd probably have little shrimps attached to it.
So no, but let's see. But again, I'd like to see Scarlett get a shot. But as you say, it could be Dele Alli playing up on as they're doing the Man City on and playing a false number 9.
Yeah, I would love to see Mbappe get a shout. Like Sean was saying, in and around some of the senior guys as well. Daigle, who do you want? Do you want Ali or Dane Scarlett up front?
Listen, I never want to say the word Ali and starting together. It's an oxymoron to me. Listen, we've gone through me and Ben in the predicted lineups as playing the false 9. I love Scarlett. You've heard me bang on about Scarlett a hell of a lot. Although someone mentioned the guy in the comments who I really want to see is Alfie Divine. To me, I've said it before, he's going to be world class. He's that good. But with Scarlett, what I have been saying is I feel that if we play a Scarlett, he needs to play with a Kane or Son. Obviously, it can't be Son today because when he has been playing, he's up there by himself. He's doing it in the Europa Conference League and there's no service. There's no one to see him through the game. There's no one to get the ball to him. There's been no creativity. If you gave Scarlett a game, even if it was 20 minutes alongside Kane, where Kane can play the Teddy Sheringham role and help him and guide him through the game, I think we'll start getting the best out of Scarlett. And as much as I keep saying chuck him in, we've seen when he has played, because there's been no lack of creativity or quality with him, he's up there, but he's very isolated. So So I'd love to see him come on and get some minutes near the end, but I think, and I can't believe I'm saying this for God's sake, Ali's going to start up front.
But they not both play together.
I said that Kane needs. I mean, Scarlett needs to play with quality. So
Yeah.
no.
And Sean, who would you play up front today, my man? Ali or Scarlett?
I want to start with. I'll start with Scarlett. You know, give him as long as needed to, and I think he'll learn. Whatever happens, playing alongside Kane in a game in front of the Tottenham fans, the support we right there for him. You know, it will be. It'll be a great learning experience for him. Worst case scenario, he gets to play alongside some absolute quality. Be awesome if he could have a good performance, because the poor guy probably feels like, you know, the start of his career has been a bit of a kind of damp squib. And I'd rather start with him, and then if needed, if we're struggling during the game and he's having another tough time of it, then maybe bring him off and replace him with something else. But I just wanted to ask you a quick question, Dave. Did I hear you say a minute ago that Conte was making comments about Did you mention Ndombele's comments? Is that what you said a second ago?
No, Dele Alli.
Dele Alli. Okay,
he was challenging Dele Alli.
Dele Alli, all we do know is Dele Alli definitely starts. He's definitely starting. It's just a case of where.
Yeah. I'll tell you, one of the things though I feel like I've seen in the comments, and I don't know if you had this on the to talk about list, but Conte came out and was saying things about Ndombele, saying, he's training really well, he's putting in the graft, he's grinding, he's doing all this. To me, that's just him trying to pepper the shop window, trying to let any potential suitors know.
The only thing that guy would write down is his burger to make sure it fits in the oven, the fucker, honestly.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. And set your clocks, set your alarms, get the T-shirts printed. But on what Sean just said, I completely agree with him. No, maybe. You heard it here. You heard it fast. I agree with Sean.
Right, we agree on most Tottenham topics. It's just
the one thing. It's just the one thing, and it's a big thing.
It's a big thing, yeah.
We'll keep it moving because I'm way behind the comments. So just give me 2 minutes, guys. Gaguma says, "Big up, David and Brian, Phil and Sean. Let's come out with focus and fire today and make us proud. Come on, you Spurs." Exactly, and that will lead me on to my next question, Gaguma. Look, we have to go out there with the right mentality and the right attitude today, so we do. And look, hopefully some of these Tottenham boys can make us proud today, Gaguma. Hopefully a big victory today. There is over 239 in the house. Everybody smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and feel free to get the super chats in like so many have already done. But big up Gaguma, I really appreciate the support. And Dark Sungji said kickoff is 11 for him, so I presume it's the same for you. Enjoy the game, and at least you don't have to stay up late for this one. Moondog says, I have watched Spurs from the 60s, and this is the worst team for effort and quality in the depth for the squad. I find it sad to say that. And look, we'll go to Philip, and it's not because he has grey hair or anything. It's because I presume he would be the 60s rather than me.
Yeah, there was I can take Moondog's point there. Probably agree with him up to a point, but there was teams in the 70s. The team that got relegated in 1976 or 77 had great effort but no quality. You know, they tried their best, but they just weren't good enough. You know, and I think, to be honest with you, I put a lot of the lack of effort and quality. It's down to the lifestyles these players lead. I mean, there's guys with less talent than a lot of players in days gone by getting 150 grand a week. And then they can't even turn up on a Saturday or a Sunday and do it. You know, I don't know. It's something about the whole wage structure of football that's causing a lot of this quality. Okay, the effort and the quality the effort has certainly improved since Conte came in. I mean, there was no effort under Nuno, literally.
Okay, sorry, sir. I've just worked something out. Big Boss Man is Killer Priest. Big Boss Man is Killer Priest. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Phil. I've just worked out something. It's all good.
All right. I'll take your point. We were 20th in the stats for running and all this when Conte came in. Now we're first. So that has been improved. The quality he's working on. Okay, we know the players that we don't want in the team, some of which have come good under Conte. Let's face it, Eric Dyer being the main man there, and Winks up to a point. I mean, Winks has done more than we thought he'd ever do. And Ndombele seems to be the elephant in the room at the moment, basically. And I think you're right there. Conte talking him up, that was him doing a bit of sales talk. He's trying to persuade some other team to go for him. So yes, the effort and the quality is not good. Would I say it's the worst team since the 60s? No. I mean, if you saw Spurs playing with players like Jerry Booth and the Ginger Pele, I think we'd all be in therapy if they were in the team at the moment, But let's just say it's a work in progress and it's getting better.
Yeah, 100%. Well, there you are, Moondog. Hopefully, Philip Brady expertly answered your question there, my man. Sorry, Diego.
Yeah, I just want about Big Boss Man, who is Killer Priest, who is my stalker, and I just want to say, I'm just looking through these comments. Learn to understand and hear what I'm saying. I never once said Conte walks 2 months in. I actually said Conte doesn't walk in January. If he's not back in the summer, he walks. So if you're going to stalk me,
that's right.
And if you're going to put stuff on Twitter about me and badmouth me, at least have the decency to quote me right, you weird keyboard warrior. He's the only one that I will go for because he literally he stalks me. So
you did say what you said. Yeah, you did say in summer, not in February.
Do you know what? To the guy, he's actually never ever said a bad word to me ever. Now I know some other people do have problems with him on Twitter and stuff like that. To be fair, but he's never ever been never ever said it out of term. But look, I get it 100%. Spurs, Guguma with the super chat says, Sonny, get better soon. Rest and heal. Look, Guguma, I mean, hopefully have some magic cures or something like that for the guy because we badly need him back. We badly need him back, Guguma, especially with Chelsea, Arsenal. I mean, he's missing the Leicester. There's a lot of games he's missing there that could define top four. So hopefully we can get him back, Guguma. Hopefully we can get him back. But guys, I'm going to read out a couple of quotes here from Morecambe boss Robinson. And he said, bear in mind, I'm not trying to sell him, but Cole has been fantastic for us. And his quality of goals has been the biggest thing for every player. It's a shop window. Morecambe are a club that sells players and have to be sustainable in selling players. It's an opportunity to put yourself on the map. We have struggled to motivate some of these players for matches like these. For example, Rennes, Pacos de Ferreira, Vitesse, Enes Mora, as examples of matches that have already cost us one cup competition this season because of motivation and poor attitude. How important is it we go out there with the right mentality today? And do you trust some of these players, aka Lo Celso, Ndombele, Dele Alli, and stuff like that, Doherty, to go out there and give their all and not let another upset happen? And we'll start with Sean on this one.
Yeah, I think it's important to remember that the vast majority of those games that you just called out were under Nuno's tenure. Right, I know that the Mura game was under Conte, but that was right at the start, and obviously that was unforgivable. But vast majority were under Nuno, and most of the team, I think that Nuno had like an inferiority complex in the minds of a lot of those players, right? Like they didn't respect him as much as they do Conte. I think under Conte, the vast majority of the games, not all of them, but we might have been, bested on the day like we were against Chelsea. But the vast majority of the games, especially in the league, it's been we're gritty. We're still figuring out the formation, figuring out the best 11, figuring out how to get past COVID and game congestion, and we've got a threadbare squad. But I don't think you can throw the same accusation that Tottenham have been underwhelming under Conte as much as you can against under Nuno. So I feel like today is a really important day, and I hope that Conte would absolutely not allow and not tolerate any such disrespect to Morecambe, and to even allow a weak performance if there are, like with the way he was so willing to just get Doherty off the pitch at half time against Chelsea. I feel like Conte's a little bit more cutthroat. So I feel like I said, I think that you have to consider the last time when we have played these games and against teams that were considered lesser than us, it was under a different system, under a different manager, under a different formation. So I don't think we can make the same accusation yet. And I hope that Conte
Ennis Mora was under Conte.
Yeah, I know Mura was.
We also had Colchester before under Pochettino with some of these players too.
Yeah, but look, I just think that this is a new, draw a line under that and to say this is from today. I would imagine that Conte won't accept, and I think the fans will get on the backs of the players pretty quickly if there's any kind of lackluster performances out there. And I think a lot of the players today, they're either playing for their careers or they're playing for their moves or whatever. There's a reason for every one of them to step up. You're in the midst of a January window. If you think that your time at Tottenham is over and you are playing today, then you've got a reason to play well. If you think that your Tottenham career has a chance to be reignited, then today you have a chance to prove Conte right or wrong. And if you are a young player that's trying to get your career started, then you absolutely have a right to think that today is the day to prove that effort in front of Tottenham fans in an FA Cup game where there's more energy, more love. A lot of the Tottenham fans didn't give a shit about the Carabao Cup either. And maybe some of that kind of toxicity, that energy kind of pitted through or filtered through to the players. In the FA Cup, everyone takes it seriously. Everyone loves the FA Cup. And I think today you won't be disappointed. I hope. But I'm a glass half full guy, so I hope that Tottenham are going to, there's not going to be any disappointments today.
No, I hope so. Look, I don't think there will either. But Philip, am I right to be justified with some of the performances we've seen with some of these guys out there? And do you think there's every chance if they turn up with the wrong mentality that it could be a very tricky game for us?
There's one sentence Sean said there that's very pertinent to today. Playing in front of Tottenham fans. All those other games, Colchester, Pereira, Zagreb last year, Nuno, or whatever you call them, the Slovenian crowd, they were all played away from home. They were all played away from home. There was no home game. I don't think the Spurs crowd would allow performances like that.
Yeah.
Playing those games, there was no Spurs fans there. There was nobody to G them up. Can you imagine going 1-0 down to Morecambe today? And there's not a complete reaction in that crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big factor, I think. I don't think we'll ever lose a game like the Mura game played at home. It's just the away thing wasn't good. Our attitude was totally wrong. And, we have to get that attitude right tonight. Like only look at the results yesterday is enough to warn any player. The FA Cup does throw up shocks. There's been enough of them so far. We do not want another one today. I mean, would you have given Cambridge any chance against even Newcastle yesterday? Not a hope. Especially with the stellar new signing, Kieran Trippier in the team.
Yeah.
I believe there's something like 9 shots on target.
Yeah.
And they still couldn't score.
How many?
Newcastle.
9. Newcastle.
I thought you said 99. I was like, bloody.
No, 9. I think
Newcastle had 2 goals. Didn't Newcastle have 2 goals disallowed, and so did Cambridge. There was 4 goals that were disallowed in the game. It's madness. It's a great game of football.
But that's the beauty of the FA Cup. It throws up such unpredictability. So we do not want to be on the end result. So I would say Conte has got those boys as tuned up today as if we're playing Liverpool, because a failure today is a complete dent in what he's trying to do at the club. Absolute dent in us.
Spot on. And Kaguma says, I really hope Gil plays today, and I will be getting on to that in a minute, Kaguma. Look, it's not Gil, it's Gil Messi. I'm going to keep saying it. He's going to prove so many people wrong. Trust me. I mean, he nearly broke Pulisic's ankles against Chelsea when he came on. How direct he was. Absolutely loving it. Big up, Kaguma. Really appreciate the support. Really appreciate it. But Brian, same to you, my man. I mean, when it comes to games like this, are you worried that we could end up seeing a tighter game or shock if some of these same players keep getting rolled out there in these games?
Yeah, I mean, listen. Again, Sean is right. When my God, I must go get some help. No, we do. We do agree on a lot of things football-wise, and Phil echoed it as well. We are at home. These performances have been away, and listen, the magic of this cup, we know all well and good. Not just, like you said, we haven't had a knockout for ages, and a shock exit is like what Phil said, Port Vale back in the 87-88 season. So shocks are few and far between for Tottenham Hotspur in this round. of the cup. So I only see it being a very, very comfortable win. One of the things I'm really, really looking forward to is Sessegnon apparently is playing, and with Son out, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing Sessegnon and Hill. Because if we do see Hill, what you got to remember is in the Watford game, if you go back to the Carabao game, when we beat them on penalties, Brian Hill actually did a really good number in tracking back and defending, and also he kept the Dharma quiet. If you remember, he made a load of tackles on the Dharma. He seemed to.
Yeah.
So the fact that Sessegnon can also play as a winger as opposed to a wing back, and it looks like Hill has those credentials as well.
Yeah.
Seeing them interchanging, it adds a lot of balance to that squad. So that's one of the things that I'm really, really fascinated in seeing. But like I said, I can see where the trouble comes in with thinking that obviously FA Cups it has shocks, but with being at home and with I think we are playing not a full strength side, but it's not going to be a lot of youth. It'll be a lot of squad players like Lo Celso. I think will start. Then I think we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just can't see the shock. But I can understand why some people think, do you know what? FA we haven't been performing.
Do you know why I ask? Because every team that turns up here that are underdogs, they will believe they can get something with some of them previous results with NS Mora. So they're going to come here straight away, Cambridge. And from the off, I think, especially for the first 10, 15 minutes, they should, if I was the manager, I would get at them physically, get them turned. Because you know what some of these players, like Savendon Belly and stuff, they will not start fast. They will want to do bit of stuff at walking pace for the first 5-10 minutes. So if I was the Morecambe manager, I'd be telling them exactly that. I'd be like, look, if NS Mora could turn them, Vitesse can turn them, there's no reason why we can't do it. And that's why we have to have the right attitude from minute one, as soon as we walk out that tunnel, out onto the white line. Because we can't go into these games expecting to turn these teams over with ease, especially with what we've seen. Because teams now, and what them results have done, is giving these little teams that come to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium the belief they can turn us over. So it's going to be a dogfight and a battle, because teams are coming with belief they can turn us over. So we have to be at it, and we have to be at it from minute one. So we do. But that's why I asked the question. Sorry, Philip, go on.
Yeah, Brett, listen, I'm afraid I'm going to have to pass and go at the minute. I have a thing to be at 12 o'clock, so I need to go. So listen, it's been a pleasure as always just to be with the legends. And come on, you Spurs, and we'll see you after the match.
Score prediction.
3-0.
3-0. Big up, Philip. Philip, thank you very much for this morning.
Okay, lads.
You go and enjoy the day with the grandkids and the daughter.
All the best. See ya.
See you, my man. See ya. Absolute brilliant call in there from Philip. It's great to have him back on. Absolute great to have him back on. Oh, what a man. I love Philip. But look, we'll keep moving. But look, that's my answer to the question anyway. But Brian, we'll go with you. Conte should see this as an opportunity to get his fringe options some minutes. Do you expect wholesale changes today? And who should the minute go to? Should it go to some under-23s who deserve the opportunity, or should it keep going to these fringe players who haven't let us down before?
So I would love to see Alfie Devine. Like I said, I keep banging on about Alfie Devine. This guy is going to be a world superstar. He's that good. I'd love to see Scala, but for the reasons that I said, we don't need Kane playing. We need to wrap Kane in cotton wool while Son is out. And I'd love to see Harvey White. I'd love to see Harvey White get a bit of game time. But I completely see where that is. I think today, you look at people like Giovanni Lo Celso, who better than I think will start today. He has to have a good game. Grab the game by the scruff of the neck and show this is what I can do. All right, it's against lesser teams. But these fringe players, if there's ever been a last chance saloon, then that's the time.
He wants to be friends now.
Mate, I'm perfectly happy, Killer Priest, to be I've never called him out like he calls me out. I've never done anything. Yes, I'm very anti-Levy. Yes, I call Levy out people as a group, never personally. This guy likes to go individually, and he gets all over Twitter. And as you've seen, misquoting everything I say. So if he's ready to peace, I've never even started anything with him personally. Only when he tags me in tweets. You want to
Look,
stay
what I will
calm? I'll stay calm. I'll stay calm.
what I will say is we're all Spurs fans. We're all one. Let's just get on. Killer Priest, Brian Dagan, let's make up now and move on. Let's move forward.
So yeah, mate, listen, I'm perfectly happy with that, mate. But yeah. So when it comes to the team, I completely understand. I mean, people like Ndombele, I'm with you, David. Now, I tried to give him every single last roll of the dice, but every time we're disappointed. Although he came when I saw him at Chelsea, he did, but the team was so bad, anything would have made a difference. But yeah, I've gone past it. So I think there's certain players like the Celso that needs great performances, but if you chuck in the youth, mate, and it doesn't, let's say there is that FA Cup shock, then everyone's going to say, oh, why didn't you play a full team? Now, if you play a full team and you lose, then you're like, right, these players aren't good enough. These players need out. So it's one of those games that I would stick with fringe players for this one.
No, interesting. And Shawnee, yourself, my man, would you give some of these under-23s, the untried and the untrusted, the chance to kind of get themselves into that spotlight? Or would you give some of these backup players? And the reason why I asked about the under-23s is because right now their part is being hampered by some of these guys, like Ndombele, Lo Celso, stuff like that, who when they've been given their chances haven't took them, but still get them. And they're stopping some of these under-23 guys from coming into the team. And the reason why I say stopping them is because some of these guys should have been given runs out in the Europa Conference League, but couldn't get a minute because these guys couldn't get the job done. So, Sean, who would you put out there today?
Yeah, it's a good point, mate. I'd also argue though that the couple of players that have come in and have been bled in haven't taken their chance either, right? So, just to play devil's advocate, or Dane Scarlett's probably the best example, right? Like,
I mean, the thing is, we're talking about a 16-year-old.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying,
compared to Dele Alli.
No, listen, I'm not just playing devil's advocate here. Yeah. I'm just saying that the players that have come in haven't. There's the only person that's come through the youth system of late where it's worked out and been an absolute, transformation and is Oliver Skitt, right? I know he went out on loan to Norwich. So, do I want to see these players get some game time today? Yeah, I do, but I don't want it to be a full youth team. I think you've got to take the game seriously. I think maybe you play 2 or 3 max. Youngsters, right, and then have a few more on the bench, and then depending on where we're at during the game, if we are 3-0 up, 4-0 up, if it is a walk in the park, then the second half is a chance to bleed some of these in. Personally, though, I'd rather see some of these kids go out on loan. Like Tanganga is a perfect example where we, as much as I love Japhet Tanganga, I know he's a level above the Harvey Whites or the Alfie Devines, etc. I know that he's had his chances. But I think that someone like Japhet Tanganga against Chelsea, he looked so uncomfortable in the first half an hour. And I just feel like you can't afford to let these players learn on the job. Tottenham are not in a fortuitous enough position, not in the league, not in the cups, where we can really allow too much learning on the job. I feel like you have to just get them out wherever it maybe one of these players should be at Morecambe, not at Tottenham. And then they go from the second division to the first, then to the championship, and then you create more of a merry-go-round where more Oliver Skipps can develop. I don't see much point in having these players in an under-23 team where like Dylan McCandy goes and bangs in 30 goals.
But
I'd love to see Dylan McCandy play today, by the way. Sorry,
I think this is my point, though, Sean. Yeah. When are they going to get their chance in games like this if you still keep rolling out the same players and getting the same results?
But I don't think they should get their chance at Tottenham. I think that they should get their chance at Division 1 teams or Championship teams. Yeah. Right? I don't see the point of having an under-23 team where you're playing against other 19-year-olds, other 18-year-olds, and it's like, oh wow, you scored 30 goals, but Dylan Marcandy is definitely not. Even though he's too good for the under-23 team. He's far too good for the under-23 league, but he's not good enough to start for Tottenham. So get him out. Like go and let him toughen up and learn the brutal reality of playing in the Championship or in Division 1. That's how we should do it. Take the Chelsea model. I know Chelsea have got more money, more finances, and more structure, but Chelsea have got like an absolute merry-go-round of players that are coming out, coming in, going out, coming in, going out, and then you've got people like Conor Gallagher that have benefited from all of that exposure over year, And now next year, he's going to walk straight back into the Chelsea team. Dylan Marcandi is never going to be a regular for Tottenham, and neither is Dane Scarlett by learning their trade in the under 23s. They're too good for that level. They're not good enough for Tottenham yet. You need to go and get them professional football, real first team football, but you can't learn on the job. And I'd argue the same for players like Japhet Tanganga. And like I say, the Harvey Whites, and the Alfie Devines, and I know there's like the two twins that we've got that are like parallel opposites, right? Those kids apparently have got a lot of talent, but we're never going to see them in a Tottenham shirt. So let's go and get them out. Go and play at Cardiff. Go and play at somewhere lower down. That's the strategy that I would take. Yeah. I think the under 23 league, I think it's a nonsense, to be honest.
Yeah. No, look, I agree with you. I do think the under 23 league is a bit of bollocks. I do think they should bring back the proper reserve league. But I'll be honest with you. I don't want to look. I know they're going to be rolled out today, and I will get behind them.
Yeah.
But look, I'm finished with Ndombele. I'm finished with Lo Celso. I'm finished with Dele Alli. Finished with Doherty. There's so many there who have just cost me game after game after game after game. I would actually rather give the opportunities to the under 23 lads in these cup games, because let's face it, Ndombele and Lo Celso, they rarely feature in the league. Very rarely feature in the league. They play all the cup games. And for me, I would much rather give Harvey White the games to develop, Dane Scarlett the games, and some of the others coming through, Dylan McCarthy, Alfie Devine. I'd much rather give them some of the games to go out there and have an opportunity than keep persisting with some of these absolute donuts who you don't know whether they want to run around or whether they want to sit beside Conte eating a McFlurry. It pisses me off. You know what I mean? And I don't want to keep persisting with them. And with having these people here, they're hampering opportunities for these guys to come into the cup games and say, hang on, I am good enough to play. Because they're not getting the opportunities, because these absolute melons are only like barely winning the game, or else it's getting to 60 minutes and we're having to roll the big boys off the bench to completely save their ass. And I'm fed up with doing it. The
problem is, mate, is that if you want to get rid of Ndombele, if you want to get rid of Lo Celso, you have to show them in first team football so that other teams.
No, because every time we play them, Sean, they just drop their price tag. You know what I mean?
Well, no one's going to pay for it anyway. Like, you want them out of the club.
I get what you're saying, right? I get what you're saying. If you want to sell them, you might have to play them.
Yeah.
But should we do that at the detriment of results, which we do? No,
but at Morecambe, it's hopefully not going to be at the detriment of result, right? Against Morecambe.
But this is exactly. Yeah. It's Morecambe. So why can't Harvey White, Dylan McCandy, and stuff like that be given the opportunity instead of these melons who keep getting it?
Yeah, it's interesting. David, it's an interesting debate. It's interesting, yeah.
You know what it is? Is the way, like how it is in modern society now, when you go to university and then you leave university to get a job and they say, but you haven't got any experience. And then you have another job that you go to and they go, well, you haven't got a university degree. So it's kind of like you're good enough for the 23. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're too good for that, but you're not big enough for this. So you sit here festering there.
Yeah, but my point is, how did it prove they're good enough to get in there? Is by playing these
on loan. On loan. I think they do it on loan.
It's not. It's about playing these games, because I watched Tottenham UEFA Cup where some of these guys have got the opportunity in these games and stuff like that. There's no reason why they can't get the opportunities in these cup games. I mean, I would much rather give them the chance than not knowing what I'm going to get out of a player that's paid $200 a week.
You've got to look at the loan. I mean, with the loan system, you've got to look at it. Someone like Ollie Skip, and when we did it with Carl Walker, go on and have loans that blossom their careers and do everything, and they go from there to there. But then on the other people, you've got people like Troy Parrott, who have gone somewhere, and it just hasn't worked. So it's kind of identifies, like, I believe, like, for instance, Japhet Tanganga, if we get cover in, I think this guy, we need to do like what we did with Sessegnon and say, right, your position is, let's say, right wing back. Not right wing back, right of the back three, and say, right, you're going on loan, but to a team that will only play you on the right side of a defence, whether it be as a back four or as a back three. So you identify your position. Because at the moment, I liken Tanganga to like Google Street View, when he just plugs that yellow dude in. It's like, oh, we've got a hole in the defence. Oh, let's just plug Tanganga in there. So the loan system can work, but it goes on the player's mentality. It goes on how far we can reach. Now, someone like a Morecambe, I hope, comes on and gets minutes. But these are the kind of things, I think, David, what you want to do is, let's say we're 2-0 up, 3-0 up. They should be seeing it through. Then you give them the minutes, because I think if they come on and they don't perform confidence-wise, remember what we did with Gareth Bale when he hadn't won for 24 games, and then Harry Redknapp brought him on with like 3 minutes to go just to get that. We kind of need to do that with these youngsters. Don't start them, because if things go rough and the crowd get on them, especially at home, it could turn one way. But these players we want to succeed, we want to see do well. Why don't we give them, like, if we're 2-3-0 up, go, okay, Markanday, Ali, if he's playing the front nine, comes off you go, 3-0 up, go have some fun, go do what you do. And then, you can...
I fully get what you're saying, but the problem is when we played these games, we've never gone 3-0 up. Never.
Yeah. This is actually very true. You're right.
The other thing to think about, though, guys, right, is so Brian, I take your point that you can, for every successful loan, you can point to one that's less successful, right? And we can look at Cameron Carter-Vickers. He's had a real struggle. Maybe now he's found a good place for him to at the right level where he's an absolute superstar in Celtic, allegedly, and we're going to get some money back for him, which is great. But if there's other clubs you can look at and analyze their loan system, which is a different structure to what we do. And sometimes it depends where you loan. I'll take your point, right? If you're going to loan someone, it's not just loan them out. It's pick the right club that will play them in the right position and that will play the style of play that we need him to come back as in an adept at. But I feel like, Dave, the problem is, mate, when you say we've tried and tested Ndombele and Lo Celso and they let us down time and time again, let's give these players a try.
You disagree?
No, I don't disagree with that at all. I take your point completely. But the solution to that problem you're suggesting is drag in players that have never played at this level at all. It's like a live experiment, right?
No, that's not my solution. My point is in these sort of cup games, like a game like today, why can't we give some of these guys a chance? Because at the end of the day, you do not know whether they're good enough unless you play them. You don't know
how many of the names would you like to see start today?
I would like to see Harvey White in there, and I would like to see Dane Scarlett play, and I'd like to see Pascozzi given a go in there as well. Alfie Devine.
So half the team make their debut today. Oh no, not Dane Scarlett. He's made his debut.
Pascozzi's not making his debut. Harvey White's not making his debut.
Yeah, sorry.
But my point is like I would much rather put them out there than put out a 200 million man who I don't know whether he's going to perform. And the thing is, by him not performing, all they've done is hamper these guys' times. Harvey White should have featured by now in some of the Europa Conference League games because they should have been over easy. You know, it's the same as last season in some of the cups where we could. You know, I'm sick of it. For me, I think we should be giving some of these guys a run out rather than being slapped in the face with the same thing from these guys.
I agree that they need to be played, whether it's here. Sorry, mate. Yeah, sorry.
To put me out there against Morecambe, I'd play them off the park. You don't need anyone. You don't.
No, I know, but okay. But I agree with you that them sitting in the under-23s, never getting a chance, is pointless. It's absolutely pointless. How are you going to prove yourself unless you get a chance to prove yourself? Totally on board with that. My personal preference, though, is that they don't sit in under 23s. But I don't want them to learn on the job in our first team. I want them to learn on the job on someone else's first team. So I agree with you that sitting in the under 23s when they're too good for the under 23s, but not good enough. Maybe they are, maybe they're not in the first team for Tottenham. And I point to Tanganga at Chelsea as an example. He can't learn on the job in a white shirt. It costs us, and Tottenham are we're not in a position where we can have.
But Sean, you say that
make mistakes.
You say it's going to cost us, but how many games has Lo Celso, Ndombele, Doherty, and the players these guys cost us?
I take your point.
It's going to cost us. Yep. In the terms of long run for Tottenham, I'd rather it be the under 23s and give them their minutes and them cost us, rather than the same players that I know is going to keep costing me.
Yeah, and I take your point, and I'm more than happy that it's a view that I respect. Just my personal view is I'd rather them be away in a championship team, learning there, and then they come back and hopefully they're then more introduced into real live first team strong football. But I take your point. I've got no argument with it. It's just I've got a different preference to how we get these guys a chance.
Yeah. No, spot on. And look, a lot of people probably agree with you more than me, Shawnee. I mean, a lot of people know I'm a bit harsher on some of these guys just purely because I just had enough with them. I've washed my hands with them. But look, I fully get what you're saying, Sean. But look, hopefully you can understand where I'm coming from as well, my
100%, 100%.
I have two more questions I want to get through because I know we have to let Brian Diego go because he's after the studios and I have to get over for the pre-match pump up. So we'll get to one of them now, and it is actually on Harvey White. Here's the question. So I'm going to start with Daigle on this one. Is this an ideal chance to give Harvey White his time to see what he can offer instead of rolling out the same midfielders that we keep on seeing? He's been around the youth system for some time now, Brian. He has been very highly spoken for years. He's 20 years old now. He's not a kid anymore. He has been training with the first team for the last couple of weeks. He is a left footer and a set piece specialist and can play left back, centre mid, and centre back if needs be. He's played 14 games for the under-23s in league in the Premier League too, with 5 goals and 6 assists and 3 games in the EFL Trophy, where they do actually come up against first teams, but in the lower league, League 1, League 2, and he's got 2 goals, 1 assist. Does he deserve his chance there? I mean, he's 20.
So when we spoke at the very beginning of this show, he is one of the ones I said that I would like to see get some minutes. Listen, you've just taken the first two things you say, a left footer and a set piece specialist. Well, left footer, we can see how important Ben Davies has been in that position. How important it is to have a left footer in the squad, especially on the left hand side. I think he adds something to the team, and we all know whether anything. Everyone should agree we do not have a set piece taker, not a set piece specialist.
Yeah,
we have a couple of people that maybe try and take a set piece like a Dyer free kick or a Sun corner. We do not have a dead ball specialist, and this is something we've been missing since Eriksson left. And it's a vital part of football today. A vital part of football. So I would love to see Harvey. I think he's good enough. I think there is a real talent there, and he is one that if he's on the starting lineup, I would not be upset in any size of the imagination. In fact, I'd be delighted because I think he is a real talent. But like we said, we can't do with like Ferguson did with Class of '92, just throw 5 in and they were 5 superstars. Well, I don't think we're at that level yet where we can just go right 5 in you go. But with Harvey White, I wholeheartedly would love to see him start.
Yeah, no, same here, my man. And Sean, same to you. If you don't want to give them all a run out, would you at least give Harvey White a run out with what I've said about him? Oh, you're on mute, lad.
Sorry, guys. I agree with I agree with what both of you have said, right? So I'm not against bleeding certain players in. Definitely today I'm happy to do it, right? I always get excited when I see a youngster put on the white jersey, right? You go, this could be the next Wayne Rooney, this could be the next Harry Kane, this could be the next 17-year-old that's going to, change all the fortunes. There's lots of positivity about bringing players in, and I'm up for it today. I just don't want to see, I don't think you can. I don't want us to underestimate Morecambe. I don't want it to be a shit show. And I feel like what I'd like to do is take the top 3, maybe maximum 4 players and I'm happy to, I don't know much about Alfie Devine. I don't know much about Harvey White. So if you guys think that these guys are ready, then I'm happy to see them in, but I want to see them play alongside quality. But I don't want them to only be used 3 times a season in cup games against teams I want to see them go out like I want the Conor Gallagher story to be redone. I want to see the Oliver Skip thing be redone. So maybe today's a good day to do it. But next season, if they prove themselves today, next season you go, okay, this is real potential here. Now we know the level that he's at and the potential. Now let's go and find a club that matches that level. Yeah. And whether that's a lower league Norwich or whether that's a upper league Championship team, I don't know. But I just, you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
right?
I fully understand it.
One-off games here and there aren't going to be the answer for them. I want them to get regular team. Yeah.
Sure, I just have to say on that, I don't know if you saw me on YouTube when I used to speak about Alfie Devine. The reason I big Alfie Devine up so much is during his Wigan days, my parents' friends, one of their sons or son-in-laws was on the medical and nutrition team at Wigan, like the official. And I used to speak to him and he said, listen, just as we were signing him, I spoke to him a bit. It was like, this guy, his fitness levels, I think he said it's like nothing we've ever seen before. This kid, like his actual fitness and whatever, is beyond the like they are like. I don't know how he does it. He's unbelievable. And then from Wigan, like you were saying, even the manager, they had to sell him because obviously they were going through financial difficulties themselves. So we swooped in and got him. But when he was leaving Wigan, they were like, and you see some people say, like when Owen, I'm not saying he's going to, I think he's going to get world class, but people were saying this kid, and you know when they say this kid has got something special, like when a Rooney came through, an Owen came through, a Gazza came. I'm not saying he's going to hit that kind of world status,
he has the
but they are talking about this kid in unbelievable.
Awesome.
Let's give him a chance. For him, I'd love to either see him start, but I think Alfie Devine, alone in the Championship, like Ollie Skip, will do him the work. Will be unbelievable.
Perfect. Then I'm all for it. 100%.
Guguma with the super sticker. I've gone back into YouTube to check Guguma, but it won't let me up there to see what it is. So I do apologize, Guguma, but I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, and I do apologize. I am sorry. And William Kelly says, have Spurs signed anyone yet? No, of course not. The usual PR stunts and lies and bullshit. Trips to the Bahamas. Levy wouldn't lie straight in the bed.
Dave. Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry,
no, go on.
I was just going to say, Guguma's sticker is a fox that's dancing like this.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, Sean. Do the dance, Sean. Do the dance. Dance, little fox. Dance.
That's what it is.
You got to doing it live. That's absolutely quality. That's better. Big up, Guguma. Big up. And thank you, Sean. I really do appreciate
that.
That's
all right. I'm here. I'm taking Jack's role today.
No, yeah, 100% that. And Brian, I'm sitting here sharpening my pitchfork. So, Brian, this is towards you. And then I have one question left about Gil Messi before we let you on your way.
Yeah, so just very quick, I've got, do you know what? Every time I see William Kelly, whether he's in the chat or in the super chat, you have no idea, emotionally, it gets me. And the reason it gets me emotionally, do you remember when I came on, when I was last back in England, and I saw him, he gave you a big super chat saying, I can't watch Tottenham anymore, that's it, I'm not going to. Yeah. So, and I came on and I said, listen, don't do that. Tottenham is something. And obviously I said, it's reasons like this, William, where I get wound up and I start protesting because there's people that have given their life. They're like William, I believe, is in Australia. Yes, so he gets up at
he's an Irish man living in Australia.
So he gets up at stupid o'clock in the morning or stupid o'clock at night to watch his Spurs. Probably gets whatever he's done throughout his life with Spurs. He's given up all that time and effort to support this great club, like we all do from wherever we are in the world. And when I saw that, it really got to me. That's why I came on. And whenever I see William, I'm like, oh, thank God, he's still watching you. He's still obviously within the scope.
He loves it. He took the words. He stuck by, lad. He stuck by.
Yeah, because I was just like, don't do it because, and it always when I see him. But yeah, don't make the pitch. Listen, if it goes wrong, you know my stance on it. And when I protest, I protest for not just me and the people that can't get there. But like I said, right now, we just have to wait and see. But the very fact that I see William and he's mentioned me, you have no idea on a personal level what this super chat means to me. To see him still in the community is just phenomenal.
Nah, and big up William. And today's one of them days where you should be able to sit back, relax, and enjoy being a Spurs fan. You know, enjoy us playing football, enjoy a few goals, have a couple of beers, and sit back and relax. It is a Sunday, William, so I hope you are off work. I know you're a very hard-working man. Honestly, this guy would be out laying floors in the middle on Saturday evenings and everything. He's a hard worker. But
Dave,
William,
I just want to quickly chime in because I know that William. I've seen William on the Monday fan show on your show before when he brought his son. I think his son's name's Luke, right?
Luke, yeah.
Yeah, and so William's another version, a very similar version with his opinions about Daniel Levy. And again, he probably listens to me and thinks I'm an idiot or a moron or whatever for my opinions. But again, another guy that I listen to, I saw his character on the show with his kid, and like I say, much love to that man. You know, he's a true Spurs supporter all the way through, and we can disagree on, you know, Daniel Levy a little bit. I'm sure I don't disagree with you entirely on Daniel Levy, but just on certain aspects of the assessment. But another guy that I have, you know, far stronger feelings for the things I've seen about his life and his person than our difference of opinion on some idiot who doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. You know,
Do you know what, Shawnee? And Daigle, I mean, look, no matter what opinions we have, whether I agree with you, whether you agree with me, or whether we agree with each other, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we can disagree, but at the end of the day, we're all Spurs fans, and let's look after one another.
Exactly, 100%.
Let's look after one another, because, I mean, if we don't do it, I mean, we're just opening ourselves up to the rest of all the other clubs' fans to just absolutely abuse us like they do every other day of the week. So, you know, whether we agree or disagree, I mean, yeah, it can get heated at times. Brilliant. I love that. It's passion. I mean, I absolutely love it. But at the end of the day, we're all Spurs fans, and let's look after each other.
Yeah.
That's
big up William Kelly. Big up, mate.
Talking about that, you have, David, I don't know if you can see it, but you've got one of those membership ones that don't come up on StreamYard. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, well, everyone's going to know who it's from because I'm going to say 2 words. And it goes, and everybody it's Danny Kiriakou. It's Danny Kiriakou. I love it when I see do's all over it whenever he comes on. Come on. He's been a member for 10 months. So I just want to say, come on, you Spurs. I want to see a dominant performance from our fringe players. From our fringe players today. No excuse. Those players need to show up. They need to show why they play for Tottenham. Big up, lads.
Spot on.
Big up, fun.
Look, every time you put on this Spurs jersey, I mean, you should be going out there doing it proud, whether you support Tottenham or not. I mean, you know, some of these guys have had such a journey to be able to get to being a professional. Whether you love the club or not, just put on the jersey, go out there and perform. Realize how lucky you are to be playing at such a top-level club who has consistently been in the Premier League at the top, at the echelons of football. You know, just go out there and represent it with pride. And I could not agree more with Danny. And I love Danny. He goes to all the games as well. Well, most of them say this.
I'm going to Chelsea and Arsenal with him, and I cannot wait. Can I put
in a request, please, to the bun? Do you remember in the film The Social Network that was a story about Facebook? And if you remember Justin Timberlake's role, Sean something, he turned around. One of the key moments in the film was when he turned around to Mark Zuckerberg and said, stop calling it the Facebook, drop the, and just call it Facebook. From now on, I don't want to hear anybody referring to Danny Kiriakou as the bun. From now on, it's just bun. Okay? Just bun. That's all I want. I know he loves it. So just make sure everyone just hello, bun. How are you? That's it. That's all I want, please.
You mean after that? Like, you mean after they've sung the song, don't you?
Yeah. Do Danny Kiriakou.
Thank you. Do not try and overtake me on that. That is official. Everyone, honestly, I cannot. Whenever I see him, whenever I message him, whenever I speak to him, I can't help. I start speaking to him, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't done your song, and I have to do the song. Then I carry on. It's become the law.
Do the song first, and then throughout the conversation, if you need to grab his attention, just go, hey, bun, and then you ask your question. Okay, that's all I want. Thank you very much.
I love it. Tony Austin says here, I am retiring to Bulgaria, but I will miss the Spurs, but the house will carry the flag, and that's what I'm talking about, my man. That is what I'm talking about.
Happy retirement, mate. Happy retirement.
Yeah, exactly, my man. Happy retirement. I mean, sunny beach in Bulgaria, I presume, is where you go, my man. That's where all the expats usually go to retire. Let me know. William Kelly says, Sean, Brian, and Dave, ultimate respect from me always. Big up, William Kelly. And look, we have ultimate respect for all you guys that view in all the time to, to tune in and listen to the shite that we have to say, to be honest with you. So big yourself up, guys. Big yourself up and big up, William. But look, last question, guys, is, and we'll get Brian first, and then after he answers this, give us your score prediction and where people can find you, so we can let you off and you can get over to We Are Tottenham TV.
Oh mate, I'm going to get an Uber. I've got time. Was there another question you were going to ask?
Oh, I have to go over anyway. I have to head over there in 10 minutes anyway. But Brian, Gil Messi, son's out injured, devastating blow. I mean, it's going to be a huge loss. Hopefully, Harry Kane can maybe step up and cover some of the goals that will be missing. Remains to be seen. But can Gil Messi, and is it his time now to come in and try and nail down a starting spot and maybe prove some of his doubt was wrong?
So do you know what? With Brian Hill, when he came on against Chelsea, he was so direct. It was only a brief cameo, but he was so direct. And one of the players I've likened to is an ex-Spurs legend. But what I love about him, he's got things that remind me of Chrissy Waddle. He loves to get to the byline. He's not one of these wingers that like to cut in and shoot. He wants to get to the byline and get it in, and he causes mayhem. I think this is, like I said earlier, with the Sessegnon, I'm really interested with the Sessegnon Hill combination because they can both cover each other. So if one is having I'm really fascinated by the balance on that left side. I think he 1,000,000,000% starts. I think he will grab this opportunity. He will grab this opportunity, and he may be the guy that takes over while Son's out, like for the whole time. I would expect to see him start against Chelsea, and if he performs well at Chelsea, maybe the North London derby. We know how big that North London derby is just for the fans, but the way the league is right now, that game is. I can't remember the last time when we're both vying, like probably since when we finished second, when we first ended St Tottenham Day, has it been like we are both vying for a place. So it could be a big game, but I think this is the moment. You know, I mean, this chance has opened up for him obviously by an unfortunate injury to Son. We don't know how long Son had that injury for because he hadn't been. We've all been saying that all right, he scored the goals, but he hadn't been putting up the trees with the performance. So yeah, I think this is the moment for Hill. I think if he's wanted a moment, this is it. And did you say to do my plug as well?
Yeah, give your plug, but I just want to tell people quickly. Cody's brought it to my attention. 70 likes for 250 viewers. Come on, guys, you're slacking. Let's get this to 120, 150 likes. It's free. Just smash that thumbs up button. And Gaguma with the super chat says, "Happy Spurs vibes. I love it. Come on, you Spurs. Always happy. Always happy over here, Gaguma. Always try to do things.
He's incredible.
On her face. Big up, Gaguma. Absolute legend. And I know she is pumped for the game. But Brian, my man, where can people find you?
So first of all, I'll give you my score prediction very quickly, then I'll go into that. So for my score prediction, as I've said, until the great man himself can wake up and say it, I will only be saying 4-1 for Bobspur. Now, I know there's a few people in the chat since we've started that have been asking for Bobspur updates. Check the very, very beginning of this stream. Or if you're at the We Are Tottenham TV watch along, just watch the first few minutes because I will reinstate or repeat what I've said. So there will be the update on We Are Tottenham TV when we go live at 1:45 after David Harris does his phenomenal pump up. David, before I go to my plug, it's been an honour to be on the, as Simeon called it, the pre-pump up. So it's always best. But yeah, where can you find me? You can find me on Tottenham on Tour with Danny Kiriakou, with Brian Ireland and Adam Clark. We were on the push for 2,000 and we needed 90. We now need 80. So we're 80 away from hitting 2,000. And to think that we're on 847 Christmas Eve, and now we've doubled in size. We've almost had 1,200 subscribers in best part of 2 weeks, which is phenomenal. We appreciate all the support. It's a channel that is growing. We're very proud of it. There's a lot of stuff to come. A lot of new stuff. I'm not going to drop any spoilers, but there's some new stuff and some entertaining stuff that will be coming your way. But most importantly, when we don't know with me how long we're staying here. We're doing the mental health show again, like me and Brian did on Tottenham Away for May the 4th. And we're donating every single super chat 50-50 between mental health charities in the UK and obviously back home in Canada. So yeah, you can find me at Tottenham on Tour. David, like I just said, it's always a pleasure to come here, mate, and I look forward to speaking on your channel very soon.
No, look, I really appreciate it. And Brian, thank you for getting up so early and coming on and giving up your time. Guys, the link is here in the chat. This is it here. Just get over to Tottenham on Tour and smash that subscribe button, guys. You don't even need to type it in. Just the link is here in the chat. Like I said, just get on it. Get over there and smash that subscribe button. And let's get the boys to 2K. It should happen today. They're not too far off it. So let's get it done. But Sean, my man, same to you. Ken Gil-Messi, step up for Son, score prediction, and where people can find you, brother. You're on mute, lad.
Sorry.
No, you're good. No.
Rookie mistake. Yellow card, Sean. Yellow card.
This would never happen if I had 1,950 subscribers like Brian. This is what happens when you have the subscriber count that I have. I'm lazy. So, yeah, score prediction to start with. I'm going to say, 3-0. I think it's a nice one. I think it's a nice round number. 3's the magic number. And that's what I think is going to happen today. I think it's not going to be comfortable, but I think if we can pick the right team and get things going. I want to see zero negatives. I want to see zero injuries. I want to see young players getting their chance, doing well and taking the ball by the horns. I want to see the senior players helping them, all those things. 3-0. In terms of Gil Messi, I 100% think that he is an absolute future superstar. I don't think he is anything like the raw. He's raw. He's a raw talent. I don't think he's anything like where he can be. Seen glimpses of him recently where he's shown some of the potential. I'm not sure where his final position will be. Some people are thinking about trying to move him into the centre as like a Luka Modric. Some people are saying left wing back. Some people are saying Sonny's position. Listen, it's a great opportunity for him. For every disaster comes opportunity. And whilst it's a disaster to lose Sonny for 6 weeks, in Gil's mind, Brian Hill Messi's mind, it is a wonderful opportunity, and I think he's a sort of player that will grab the ball by the horns. I felt like what I have seen from him in every game he's played is pure energy, pure engagement. He doesn't seem to feed off the energy of the other players around him. So I think, the negative energy. I think he's someone that's gonna run with it, and I think it's going to be a really cool thing to see. So I don't know. It's very difficult to replace Sonny, Dave. But then at the same time, Sonny's been massively off form the last sort of 2.5 months. So. I think Brian Hill maybe can step in and fill the current level of Sonny. I think that gap can be closed, but the top level of Sonny, I think Brian Hill's got a long way to go before he can kind of cover that gap. But good opportunity for him, and I think he's going to do well today. And fingers crossed he needs a goal as well. I remember he's had a few shots on goal. He hit the bar a couple of times away in Europe, and I feel like it'd be great to see him get a goal, and that will give the boy all the confidence in the world. So I think that's answered your question. And then where can you find me? You can find me predominantly. I'm on here more than anywhere else. I'm on Tottenham Tantrum Gold in the morning show usually because I like
over here and over there. Yeah,
I'm over here a little bit. I'm over there a little bit, and occasionally but yeah, you can find me also on my channel Spurs Talk Show. But it has to be all one word. If you are looking, if you put gaps in the words, then you won't find me. But Spurs Talk Show, all one word, on Twitter. At Spurs Talk Show, on YouTube, at Spurs Talk Show on Twitter. And I've got to say thank you to you, Dave, and to Jack on this channel, and the guys on Tottenham Tantrum Gold who always shout me out. Because I've only been doing my channel for about 4 weeks, and I was on I think 104 subscribers on Monday or Tuesday of this week. I'm now on 149, I think. So kind of been pretty quick growth, not the same sort of level of growth as the big man above me, but I love it. I'm loving talking Tottenham. So if anyone wants to show some love and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Spurs Talk Show.
And this is the link here, guys, as well. It's in the chat. So simply just click on it. The 2 links are both there. Just click on both of them. Get over there and smash that subscribe button. 2 boys are absolutely fantastic. They always come on here and provide great panels. So make sure you get over there and show them the support as well. It's free. At the end of the day, I always say to people, I even say to people from my channel as well, even if you don't want to watch me, smash the subscribe button anyway. I'm a Spurs fan, and that's all that matters. So, guys, make sure you get over there and check out Tottenham on Tour and Spurs Talk Show. Spurs Talk Show on YouTube, all one word. And then Faz Radfar says, big up, guys. Thanks for everything. Come on, you Spurs. 5-0. Big up, Faz. I hope you're keeping well, my man. I really appreciate support. And he's took my score prediction right out of my mouth. I've gone with 5-0 myself. But look, guys, I do have to end it there. I have to get off to We Are Tottenham TV starting in 7 minutes time for the pre-match pump-up. We'd love if people could come over there and join me as well. A massive thank you to everybody who has tuned in this morning. Over 230 in-house for more or less the whole stream, which is insane considering how early it is. A massive thank you to everybody who has smashed that like button and shared the stream. A massive thank you to everybody who supports this channel with super chats financially. It really is a massive help to us on what we do here. But look, guys, we'll see you back here at 1:45 for the watch long. Tottenham versus Morecambe. Let's steamroll the Shrimps. And look, I'll leave you in the words of Conte. I hate losing. Let's go.
Leave me in for now.
Oh, leave me out. Okay, I don't want to go play. Leave me out.